What is up, everybody? I'm No Lux Given, back with some more live Storybook Brawl gameplay, and I'm almost mythic, 3963. So even a fourth or third place finish would probably get me to mythic today, but I'm gonna go for first. I'm gonna go for broke here with Zippy the Zombie, because that is a really powerful and really fun hero, I think. And to follow that up, I'm slightly worried about a black cat, at which point I would actually just prefer to have the golden chicken, but I do like Tiny on Zippy because it's going to be able to trade with anything. So this is better against black cat, and this is better against bad billy goat or unicorn, zebracorn. So we'll see which of those my opponent has, and turns out it's nothing. So that's a nice little way to troll a Zippy the Zombie there. And then I will pick up a Shrink Drink and a Baby Root. I think that is a pretty good one. Though, against Sharon, that could be awkward. But I think it's still fine. I think it was probably better than picking up the Billy Goat. But I don't know. Maybe I could have just played the Tiny in the front line as a solo character, traded with whatever they had the Sharon buff on, and then hoped, Goat was able to trade with my opponent's other character. But I'm going to go for the Baby Root. I knew that was coming there. I'm going to go for the Baby Root and lock onto two more level 2 characters. And looks like it all worked out okay, as the Baby Root is able to deliver us a win there. So we'll pick up the win, and then we also get to pick up some nice characters here, and I'll free roll. I like the Mad Mim well enough because I've got Black Cat, so seemed fine to just pick that one up, and I'm happy enough that I did. We could have used Baby Root on a pair of Tinies had we not done that, but then the Black Cat would not have been nearly as effective, and we knew we were going to pick up these two because they were already cheaper with the Shrink Drink. So a pretty good start to the start of this game. We are 2-streaking right now, 100% win on both of our combats so far, though one of those combats was a non-combat, of course. Still good to be winning, and we'll see how far we can take that if we can get a win all the way up into Mythic. Not expecting to go undefeated, of course, but if we can still pull off something strong, that'd be sweet. But we are going to remain undefeated as we deal a whopping 6 damage. We're only level 2 to Peter Pan, so that's pretty fantastic. And then I think Queen of Hearts will be a pickup. This spell's awkward for sure, but Queen of Hearts is good. And then you know what we probably do is support the Sherwood Shore Shot with bonus attack. So not like a super powerful board. We can't cast the Falling Stars, of course, and we are up against a Sharebear, which I'm sure is streaking in their own right. Yeah, Sharebear is the second biggest streaker in the lobby. I've been getting more used to looking at that. I think especially as I've been doing live commentary, that's just a little bit of something to fill those extra times. I think I found myself doing more of that this month than I typically had in the past, but it's cool. It's cool to be able to see win streaks and kind of gauge relative power level based off win streaks and number of treasures, which is something that I haven't really cared about too much. Especially like while I'm like playing and recording, I might browse something online or something like that. Yeah, we're gonna take our first loss here for sure, but that's okay. But yeah, it just gives me something to do here while I'm doing those live commentaries, and then of course is some cool additional insight into what's going on. Now, Brave Princess on 3.1, not horrible. Also, Ogre Princess, same kind of thing. Queen of Hearts, actually, like, even though I'm thinking about picking up 2 good characters, it is funny in that Zippy will make more extra evil characters for us, so there's definitely some potential for that to do some more work down the line. I'm just thinking that I do want to pick up both of these things, and then we also have the potential to just pick up Shadow Assassin, selling off like Baby Root Tiny buy Shadow Assassin for these 2 more ranged characters, and I could even do something like this. Sure. Okay. Let's try this out. I don't think the Shadow Assassin is super impressive here, but on 3.1, it's still probably early enough that we can get it a little bit of additional scaling, but I'm not super impressed with it. Even if I find a Beauty's Influence, I probably won't throw that on the Shadow Assassin specifically. I am going to get slays with both of my Slayers here, so that's really good. My opponent with a bigger ranged backline character than me does mean we are going to get a loss, and I guess it didn't even come to that, but we go down to 28, and now we are a little bit more towards the bottom of the lobby. We get a free character from the Ogre Princess, and next turn we will get a thing off of Zippy. So we could Beauty's Influence the Queen here, but next turn we're going to be on 4.0. So I'm not sure how useful that is compared to potentially like picking up an Ogre Princess or Humpty Dumpty. Those things could also be cool. Princess White, not too shabby either. There's the Shadow Assassin, but yeah, none of this really speaking out to me that much. Could go for the 4 Glory, though I don't think that we are super suited to win. I do like this, though. Oh, and I'm out of gold. I also like the... I have to decide if I want to support the Mummy, and I think maybe I don't need to, and I just sell out the Sure Shot, buy the Mummy. Could also cut the Ogre Princess, considering it doesn't pump the Queen of Hearts. But I think we're going to do this, and then next turn probably roll for Nutcracker and Friendly Spirit. We'll have our first Evil Twin pick up. Probably just going to be cutting the Brave Princess, especially as it fails to slay on a 50-50 there. Ogre Princess does grab the slay, though, so that's nice. And then Trojan Donkey's going to spawn a little bit for my opponent. Okay, that's actually not a terrible spawn, but with a full ranged backline, it's not super ideal for me here either. That's good to attack into the ranged character that actually gives me a win. So that's pretty good. We get a full clear of my opponent's board as well, which is also really good for Zippy. Could just grab a triple of Ogre Princess this turn. Like I said, probably cutting the Brave Princess here. I think we can do better. We're up against the last place player in the lobby, which is maybe like a little bit of flexibility. Don't hate the Heartwood Guardian and River Wish Mermaid, but don't love it either. Some more XP could actually be kind of reasonable. And we would just XP the Brave Princess, and then I'm going to wind up selling 2 things right now to pick up an Amy, and then I will probably lock onto an additional Amy. Means I'm not using the Evil Twin, but I think Amy as a 6 power ranged character is just too good to pass up. So let's grab this. I'm even going to frontline the Shadow Assassin. It's a little bit awkward because then it might not see the Ogre Princess, but in doing so, it allows the Queen of Hearts to grow a little bit more. And then I'm going to pick up Amy and hope to find Friendly Spirit, which would be good with Amy. If I could, it looks like my opponent doesn't have any sort of summon here, so that's a little bit awkward. Southern Siren also going to Slay, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but it does give my opponent a cat with a Needle Nose Dagger, so not great either. Actually had a chance to not take that much damage that turn, but I'm fine taking a little bit there. And then, wow, okay, this is huge. Again, it has nothing to do with Zippy, but this is a lot of power. Just 2 10 power ranged characters. Could just fire off a fireball. The thing is here, I actually do have to sell something, which is kind of a funny place for Zippy the Zombie to be, but I am still going to cast the fireball, and then I'm just going to toss... Could even just put this back in, maybe. Toss the Queen, roll, and I guess I'll lock on to Friendly Spirit. It is going to be 5.0 next turn, but Friendly Spirit is still really good because the only like level 5 good character that you really care about evil twinning would be Robin Wood, to grab an additional copy of that. And I'm more than happy to evil twin a Robin Wood next turn as well, but I'm at least going to start the turn off by picking up Friendly Spirit, and then I'm rolling for Sporko, Lady of the Lake, Robin Wood. Those are like the main things that I want to grab some tempo to get a little bit back in this game, as we've fallen down now to 6th place in the lobby, and Fallen Angel is about to have their revenge on us. But next turn, we get to make a full triple with Evil Twin. We'll get to make 2 additional copies of Friendly Spirit, and we'll see how that goes. We do get both of the Amy attacks, and then Friendly Spirit attacks nicely for us as well. And now we just have to deal with my opponent's Shadow Assassin, which we are able to do pretty easily there. So we're going to have double Evil Twin. Fallen Angel does not extract their revenge. Let's sell out of Ogre, pick up the Friendly, and start to roll. So Lancelot is good. Typically it's a little bit awkward, but we could just double Evil Twin the Lancelot right here. And that's not typically a play that I'll go for, but I think it might be the play that I go for right now. Gives us a tier 5 treasure, and there's a few benefits to that. Gives me Horn of Olympus, I think. Yeah, I think I'm just going to want all of the tier 5 treasures and to try to move into Slay. You notice there's a River Wish Mermaid and a Baba Yaga in this shop. Now, all that Lancelot has to do here is slay here with the help of the Madman. Or the Baba Yaga. We can actually sell off this. Or sell off this. I'm locking this, so let's cycle the chicken. Cycle Madman, let's cycle Black Cat. I just have to figure out what this character's supposed to be, and maybe it is just supposed to be Shadow Assassin. Then I pick up Baba Yaga. So Lancelot gets to, if Lancelot can slay and stay, then we get the treasure this turn. If not, we get it next turn. And I'm going to be picking up this River Wish Mermaid. Oh, I can do that. Yeah, because we've got Horn of Olympus. All right, good catch there at the end to better order my characters. And Lance does get the slay and stay. So we're going to definitely take a little bit of damages, but I think this is a reasonable position to be in. Like, I think that we're reasonably strong here with a Lance that gets to trade with this, and then a few ranged characters in the back line. We're just short of having 20 health here, so that's fine. That's totally acceptable. We get another tier 5 treasure. If we can find Evil Eye, it's fantastic. So I think I will pick that up. I do like Staff of the Old Toad, especially on Zippy, but really we're just going full this away and seeing what we can do. I'm probably going to cut these, cut the Fanny. Don't want to get the Shoulder Fairies in there. I actually don't hate the Shadow Assassin because it is a way to buy into a tier 3 treasure, but I think I just look for Lightning Dragons. Ooh, we could make Lance back into a good character, or we could make Baba Yaga into a good character. That is a really interesting decision. I might just want to make more Baba Yagas at this point, though. Let's make another Baba Yaga. All right, I'll pick up another River Wish Mermaid here, which is a definite drop-off in stats, but one that I think is worth pursuing. So now we get another Baba Yaga next turn. That'll add some nice power to the board. I'll want to find a River Wish Mermaid eventually. We are up against, how big is this streak? An 8-streaking Share Bear here, and Lance might fail to slay. That is really, really unfortunate. Really good attacks there for my opponent. We're going to take a ton of damage. We're going to take, how much is this? That's 12, 13 damage, down to 5. Okay, not great. This Share Bear is definitely doing something fierce in this lobby, but I think so are we. I think so are we in just a moment here. River Wish Mermaid is just a triple, but it will eventually add more stats to the board. And we can evil twin it later if we really want to find another one, though I don't think that we do. Sky Castle is really, really good on Zippy. And something to definitely be considered, because I could just... Oh, I can't actually evil twin the lands yet. Okay, makes me slightly less interested. I'm just going to skip, actually, then. And pick up a chicken to start. I did really want a lightning dragon, but now I want to make a Lancelot maybe next turn. Let's make another Baba Yaga. That's pretty good. And then I might just Beauty's Influence this Lance to maybe do something with that in the future. And then I think I'm going to lock onto Golden Chicken triple here. Tier 2 treasures are good if we can find Bounty Board, if we can find Hermes Sandals. Both of those seem fantastic. This comp is basically entirely relying on Lance right now. And then a bunch of frontline range characters. But we'll see how far we are able to take this. Lance gets the Slay and Stay, of course, and that sends his stats to the moon, as you can see. It's pretty nutty, which is why Lance is in the first attacking position here. The rest of my characters not going to be able to slay, but it's going to come down to Lance versus Pumpkin, and actually Spellweaver takes care of Lance. So I actually lose here right now. I'm dead. I get pumpkin sauced and get taken out just about now. Okay. Well, that kind of stinks. It means that we're not Mythic. I thought this was a pretty good game, but oh well. All right, so just gonna hop back into it here, see if I can turn it around. The nice thing about losing is I still get to play another game today before hitting my first win of the day. And Fates is a great hero to do it. I do think that playing the Sphinx is fun, just because it's a huge change up, but I never feel bad about playing the Fates. So I'm gonna go for that, and I will be trying to do something silly here, and I think that a Humpty Dumpty is silly enough. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, Humpty Dumpty plus lock onto Forbidden Fruit. That seems good. I didn't think that last game was that terrible, but it didn't quite work out. You know, 4.0 as Zippy the Zombie is typically, you really do want to start to transition into tempo. We were fine up until that point, so I kept playing it all a little bit greedy, though that was probably a mistake, going for the XP and stuff when we were on level 4 rather than just trying to be as strong as we possibly could have. Unfortunately, when you're playing the Fates, you can't cycle the chicken in the opening shop, so that part was a little bit awkward there, but now I will just pick up the chicken because it's a 2-2 as opposed to the 1-1 happy little tree. And we're gonna get a Easter egg treasure next turn. Easter is coming up. I would like to have a nice little Easter egg treasure video for that time, so I'll check my archives. I don't think I have a great Humpty Dumpty game, but if not, maybe I'll try to record one in that time. And I just assume Easter's coming up. I just know from the candy aisle in the grocery store. Unfortunately, we're gonna get both of our eggs cracked here. That is super frustrating, and when multiple eggs crack, my game crashes as well. So my game is very likely going to crash. You can see it briefly flashed on my desktop there, but that's unfortunate. Okay, here's the question. Which of these Humpty Dumptys am I fated to? I think I'm fated to this one. And the reason that's important is because now Shard of the Ice Queen will mean I'm fated to Labyrinth Minotaur. All right, well, this was kind of a bust. That was a really unfortunate fight up against it was against the Horde Dragon, right? Yeah. Why does it say they're still streaking? We didn't take damage from them. No, we didn't. Okay. So, oh, I guess the streak just doesn't reset from the most recent combat. It's the previous one. That's a little bit confusing. Trophy Hunter, also an egg gamer. Well, I'm glad I didn't just pick up 2 more eggs this turn. Even if it means we're going to take some more damage because of this, it would have just been frustrating to continue to have to take damage. But it looks like we are fated to Humpty Dumpty, so this one's going to be a little bit rough. I'm not sure why that happens. I thought that we were supposed to be fated to this Labyrinth Minotaur here. Huh. That's weird. That's weird. Wish Upon a Star doesn't really help me. Only thing I can really do is still try to pick up Humpty Dumpties, but with everybody being an egg gamer in this whole dang lobby, it seems really tough to try to get through here. I'll backline the Minotaur. Backline it, but frontline it in the backline. That way these characters can make use of the bonus, but our Humpty Dumpty still has a little bit of insulation. And we'll see what we can do with that. Okay, terrible attacks for me, and Sure Shot means that I'm going to lose this Humpty Dumpty. This is decidedly not great. We take no damage from this combat, but just always losing the Humpty Dumpty means that we're never going to let it stick around. So let's make it a level 3 character. And now it's a doubly. So this, now I should definitely be fated to doubly and not have to worry about going for any more eggs in the future. I'm not super excited about doubly, but we'll at least hang on to this for a second. If we can, like, True Love's Kiss it again or something, then maybe we can still find a way to salvage this game into something interesting. Though, I won't hold my breath, and it's okay if it doesn't work out. I actually don't hate locking on to Mad Mim, but I would really like to find a Princess White, I think. Though, I don't know. I actually really just want to find another True Love's Kiss. So maybe I do just lock on to Mad Mim here, because it works so well with the current board, and I just need something for the current board. I mean, I don't really need something, but it would be nice to preserve our health. I'm actually at a pretty high health total because our eggs were getting us trades in those early combats. So my health total's high, and maybe that is enough to allow me to roll and find some cooler stuff. Oh, that's from Polywoggle. I was going to say, how does Loki have a higher level character? Speaking of preserving our health, we just take a ton of damage there. Why is this a Humpty Dumpty? Does this not work anymore? This is so troll. Why does this not work? This is a bug, because this is supposed to... I'm supposed to change what I'm fated to here. So I'm supposed to be able to, like, Mix-a-Whizzle this turn and then True Love's Kiss it and then be fated to a level 5 character. I'm almost positive. So that's kind of unfortunate. I guess I'll just pick up a frickin' Humpty Dumpty, though, considering it didn't work. And then I'll pick up another Labyrinth Minotaur and keep the Humpty Dumpty in my hand. I'm going to F8 this briefly. But maybe I'm just mistaken. Maybe that's not how it works. Maybe that's never how it worked. Maybe it was changed. I'm really not sure. But I did think that it worked differently, that's for sure. I'll put the Labyrinth Minotaur there. It's about the same, really. Actually, it's slightly worse. It's better to have the Labyrinth Minotaur here. That way, if my opponent uses a Falling Stars, my Mad Mim still attacks before the Labyrinth Minotaur, which is preferable because then the Mad Mim can have 0 attack, or a scenario like that, but this didn't actually attack, and Fallen Angel is kicking our butt there regardless. Alright, I guess I'll pick up another Humpty Dumpty for absolutely no reason here. I do like Queen of Hearts, so I'll grab that. And then I'll roll, and I do like Monster Book as well as Gingerbread Knight. Could just sell off 2 characters, which is Doubly and probably Labyrinth Minotaur. Yeah, and then pick up a monster book. And we could do something like this as well. Actually, no, I'll keep Vampire in the first attacking position. That's fine. And yeah, just not going to worry about Gingerbread Knight. Next turn, I pick up a Humpty Dumpty, potentially even skipping on the treasure. I just have to do this to get these eggs out of my shop, because at some point they start holding you back and are just a huge drawback. But looks like we have another loss compilation video instead of a winning compilation. But like I said, the upside of that is that I get to play one more game today, because I've only been playing until I get my first win of the day bonus. I did play a game yesterday, so it's not like I'm rusty or anything. Just everybody was playing eggs, and you can see it did not work out well for the Trophy Hunter or the Horde Dragon, as everybody had their eggs cracked in this lobby. So I guess that makes me feel a little bit better. If we can just beat one of these two suckers that brought us down to their level, then that'll make me feel a little bit better. But yeah, definitely not feeling great about this one. We don't take that much damage here, and we actually managed to find a tie, so that's pretty fantastic, and will potentially allow us to beat this Horde Dragon and Trophy Hunter. Trophy Hunter lost again. Let's pick up the Humpty Dumpty. I was thinking, like, I would pick up any treasure that cared about evil things. I just don't think that Easter Egg does anything for me here. Do I skip? Do I spinning wheel? Yeah, let's just friggin' skip. Who cares? I'm going to backline the Humpty Dumpty just to give it a little bit more survivability. Let's pick up a golden chicken. Alright, I like another monster book. I like another wretched mummy. The Black Cat is slightly better with Queen of Hearts, though I also like Medusa. Can I buy all of these things? Yeah, I can. Alright, double monster book, Medusa, kind of going scam plus a Humpty Dumpty. Very silly, very silly. But I'm glad I skipped on the treasure. I think here, all it really does is give Humpty Dumpty +3/+3 for one turn. So I really don't think it was that useful, and we need the stats right now because we're just playing for like 6th at this point to try to survive as long as we possibly can here. Mummy not looking like it's going to be good enough. Medusa gets a nice hit in for us. Humpty gets to... Actually, yeah, no, still just trade with the Sherwood Sure Shot, and then we take 8 down to 2. But as you can see, we needed every point of health there, and now we are up against this Horde Dragon. I'll probably just grab Lightning Dragon here and then roll. I think I do like playing another Medusa. I'm debating doing something like this. This might be a little bit stronger, and then Potion of Heroism on the Wretched Mummy. Sure. It's awkward that unupgraded Medusas don't clear the statues, they just turn things into statues, but if we can get a win this turn, then I think we might be able to get 4th. I don't know. Horde Dragon has 2 treasures now. Seems like we might be 8th where we belong. Both of these guys are really, really streaking. And the Loki hit us for a bunch as well, right? I believe the Loki hit us for 15, and the Sadrak I tied with. And I don't remember my... Oh, I tied against the Geppetto as well. So, we'll see. We'll see. Might just be an 8th place game, and I'll hop back into another one, which at this point will probably just be tomorrow's video. Today's video will just be the Fates and the Zippy game regardless here, but gave it our honest effort, just was not quite enough. And this is quite annoying because these this, what do you call it here, is just going to soak up all of the hits from the Medusa, and then the Sleeping Princess, and then the Spellweaver is going to take me out. So 8th place. There we go. And now I am nowhere near close to Mythic. A few setbacks in yesterday's video, but for today, I'm ready to come back into it with something big. And Morgan of the Rose is not a bad hero if we are planning on losing a little bit. So I could definitely see going for Morgan. I like Gwen, though this video is probably going to come out on like Sunday. So let's save Gwen for a day when I can sync up the video with Wednesday, I think. And Celestial Tiger, a lot of fun, haven't played it in a while. So I'm gonna go for Celestial Tiger here. And I might be re-editing the order of this video. I just played the game where I was picking up Humpty Dumpty's as the Fates and lost terribly, getting my first 8th place in a long time, to be totally honest. But now, what if we can be an egg gamer on Celestial Tiger and just totally flip the script? So, that might make me reconsider how I edit this video altogether, because now this is an egg video. And we could potentially be doing something really sweet here. I'm going to pick up Humpty Dumpty, roll. And we do have a decision to make with the Shard of the Ice Queen, but I'm going to not lock and hope to hit Humpty Dumpty next turn. The real question will be, do I roll? Obviously, if I find a free roll, if I find a forbidden fruit, I'm going to roll. I might just roll regardless. If I lose again, I lose again. Who cares? But the chance to potentially do something awesome, and I think that karmically, I'm going to be rewarded, and it's gonna work out, you know? You can see, 2 health, 1 health, that combat worked out just perfectly for me. Could pick up some bossies. This Pied Piper is win streaking. I'm gonna look for an egg. Forbidden fruit allows me to roll 1 additional time. I'm gonna pick up golden chicken. 1 more roll. I do not get there. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens here. I could sell off the golden chicken and roll down. I do think that is a huge risk. You know what I could do too? Let's go for it here. Let's sell off the golden chicken and bench the Humpty Dumpties. Just means now I'm gonna take like 8 damage here for free. I probably take 6 damage here for free plus the forbidden fruit. Thought it was worth going for. You're so much more likely to find the Humpty Dumpties while you're still level 2, and we could have really turned it around by finding them. So I thought it was worth going for. Isn't quite going to pan out. But now I get to grab this, and then I'm gonna roll for eggs 2 more times. And just really go crazy here. Now we're just asking for trouble. So, yeah. Maybe not going to work out so well. Maybe won't be the great video that I thought it was, but, you know, just another example of when things don't quite go your way, which I think is fine. It's gonna happen, and it's still a fun game. And I think that the game can be more fun if you're willing to take these big risks and take some big swings and be prepared to miss. And one thing that I'll say too is I never just try to do crazy things and then quit the game. I always play it out. I always will, even once I'm in a terrible position, as you saw in the last game, then I convert my strategy into trying to play with the best chances of surviving just 1 more turn, and I move forward with that. I'm gonna get both of my eggs cracked here and now have absolutely no characters on the board and really no shot at doing anything right now. But I'm going to stay in it, and I'm going to see what we can't make happen here, and I'm just going to try to see if we can manage to get like 7th place or 6th place or something like that. But we definitely went a little bit too much on the silly side of things today. But we'll see. We'll see what we are able to make happen here, as I'm just now going to try to stay alive for as long as possible, which seems pretty unlikely. We could get some really powerful treasures potentially, though we're pretty far from grabbing any treasures, and it's going to be hard to do so. We're going to lose this combat, though, which means we will get the activation from Lucky, so that will be a little bit of econ, trying to do, you know, glass half full, look on the bright side of all of these things and try to salvage the game with any aspects that we potentially can here. So Stag gets in, gives us a nice attack, and then Lucky's going to get a 2 or 3 for 1. Actually, this could still turn out to be a tie or something. Going to just wind up being 4 damage, but 4 damage I will definitely take. I don't love Prize Pig, but I'll take that as well. And then, sure, yeah, I'll pick up a Polywoggle. And we can put the Polywoggle behind the Stag and give it the Candy Rain. That seems fine enough. And actually, all of a sudden, sport's not that bad. Might lock onto Good Witch here. It's good with the characters that we have, and it builds into tier 3 treasures for Celestial Tiger. I think the way that we probably get back into the game is with a really high-powered Tempo tier 3 treasure. Though if we find a treasure map, I'm going to have a really interesting decision to make. I think that decision will probably be to pick up treasure map. We're also building into some interesting econ here with the Prized Pig and the Lucky, and there is a chance that just a 10 health donkey can just straight up go the difference and grab a win for us. So that's kind of cool, and we'll see how we are, how we're able to do with just the Trojan Donkey now. We just picked that up, and we Candy Rained it, and it's being supported by Good Witch. Looks like, okay, it is able to survive, but then attacks immediately into Vampire. Polywoggle, really unlikely to get the Slay, and going to fail to do so, so I take 13 down to 11. Being up against the Jax Giant there, a little bit unfortunate, as well as it meant the Vampire survived, and then was able to do some nice things. But I'll pick up the Medusa because that's nice and cheap. And then Fairy Godmother's kind of awkward. Polywoggle's kind of awkward. So the reason Fairy Godmother is awkward, to be clear, is that it... And maybe I do this and then sell off my Econ cards and just pick up Soultac Ancient. Fairy Godmother either has to go backline, which I might lock on to Fairy Godmother just to play it backline. It's really good with the rest of the stuff we got going on here. Yeah, I think that I should. And then I think I just play Soultac as a 426. Though I could see double supporting the Donkey instead. I think that I went 4 attack on Soultac so that it's a little bit more relevant. Locking onto Fairy Godmother here. You know what? I'm going to unlock. I think that True Love's Kiss is something that could potentially get me out of dodge here, assuming Polywoggle is able to slay. And I still want Good Witch. I still want other things here. I mean, tripling up on the Polywoggle could be good if I fail to slay this turn. I could pick up the Polywoggle, pick up the Good Witch. Maybe that's a reasonable hedge. Alright, we'll go for the hedge, though I think that the best hedge here is this huge tree. That's a pun there. Alright, the Polywoggle gets attacked into, and then we clear out the Cupid. This Soultac is not going to be good enough against this Wizard's Familiar, which also took out my Donkey and now leaves me with no backline or frontline, really. And how much do we take here? 11 exactly. All right. Well, that is now how we're going to bookend that one. 2 8th place games in a row. Maybe I'm done with Humpty Dumpties for a little bit. That's going to be it for me today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm No Lux Given. Peace.